Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. Now, today we are going to take a sneaky peek into next year. We're going to take a sneaky peek into 2026, and we are going to ask about the first big event, the first major turning point. What's the first really big thing that is going to be coming into your world in 2026? And I will try and get some kind of information, obviously lots of information, as much as I can and as much detail as I can. I'll also try to get some indication of timings. So it's the first big event, it's the first major thing. I'll try and gauge when that's happening, how quickly, how early in 2026 this is coming to you. So you really have the heads up. It may be something you're working towards already or that you're manifesting. We will find out. We will find out as much as we can. So, Moon Magic Super Souls, beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. Welcome back if you are returning to the channel, and welcome if you are new to my readings and to the Moon Magic Weekly Tarot channel. I also have a Moon Magic Monthly Tarot channel where I put my all zodiac sign readings. So, let's look at the cards and the crystals for you to help you to just see which of these piles you're going to be drawn into or guided to listen to. So the first card is the Queen of Focused Action. This is card number 7, and this is sitting with the Cat's Eye Heart. Really beautiful energy. So that's for pile 1. Then for pile 2, we have the Queen of Innocence. This is pile 2, and the crystal is the Turquoise Howlite Heart. This is it here. Okay, and then for pile 3, we have the Queen of Ancestors. Oh, I should have said pile number 2 is card number 30, if the number 30 is important to you. Pile 3, card number 6, the Queen of Ancestors. And the Queen of Ancestors is sitting with the Black Obsidian Heart. And this is what it looks like. It's actually a pendant. Okay, so that is for pile 3. Now, beautiful souls, I am going to leave the camera running. I always do, just for a few moments longer for anyone that just needs that bit of extra time. And if you find yourself, which sometimes people do, if you find yourself drawn to more than one of the piles, more than one of the crystals, or more than one of the cards, it is highly likely that there will be more than one message for you. And to be fair, they do say that actually things come in threes, so big events could come in threes. But we will see what we're shown in the readings. I'm going to try and get as much information and, as I said, also timings for you as well. So, my beautiful souls, trust your instincts, trust that gut feeling, trust that if something is really kind of showing itself to you, then it is really helping to guide you in. And I will see you in the readings in just a moment. I will put the timestamps in the description box below, as I always do, and I will also put them into a comment. So if you're a phone user, you should be able to find those timestamps really easily. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. You have the Queen of Focused Action. I'm going to draw like a key tarot card from the Storyteller tarot here, just to see what we are shown, almost to add to your significator card. You have the 4 of Hearts. Okay, this is really interesting. And the Cat's Eye, bringing guidance. Okay, Queen of Focused Action. What else do we have? Let's draw oracle cards, and then we will draw a ton more tarot cards as well for you. All of the cards, by the way, I will list in the description box below, and I'll put them in a comment for you as well. There is your... Oh, you have leadership. Your first oracle card. You have leadership. Maybe you are guiding people. Maybe you are guiding people out of a storm in some way. You have Sun, Source, Energy. And I am seeing this, and actually this one too. We have Quest and Expansion. Oh, this is like really, really exciting. This is you really stepping up. I do think you may be guiding people, like literally being a guiding light to people. Taking the lead, demonstrating something. Your world is definitely expanding. That is absolutely for sure. The question is, what is expanding for you? Pile 1, I think the very first like big event or big happening in 2026 is that you find focus, you find your focus. It's like, it could even be that literally you find your direction, or it could be that if something has broken, that you find a new direction. I feel like something comes in though that guides you, that creates this. There will be something that happens because we're asking, what is this first major turning point? Because of the cat's eye energy, and then we have the tiger. This is a big, powerful cat, a big energy of leadership. I think something happens to steer you into a position where you know you are on track, or you know your direction. Perhaps some of you find a direction, or your pathway becomes clear. It could even be that someone comes in to help you to expand your world. These are both also the blue chakra. This is the throat chakra. Maybe some of you find a voice. Maybe some of you start to step up and become speakers in some area of expertise where you become a leader in your field. And I think that you could also be guiding others. You could be steering others, helping others with your new direction. Or indeed a clarified direction or a clarified focus. But let's draw your tarot cards and see what we are shown. Maybe kindly ask, what is the first big major event that comes in my pile 1's lives in 2026? I can see it's bringing you focus, renewed focus. Like basically you get your act together. This is the deal. There is something coming in that causes you to get your act together. Let's see what we are shown here. I am seeing this one and this one. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups. We have the 5 of Cups. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles. I wonder if I can move these along. Let's move these along a bit. I think we can do that. And make a bit of space and room for that card. Look at the industry in the 8 of Pentacles. I think things will run like clockwork for you. Like you become very focused. Like inside a goldfish bowl. Like what's that saying, isn't it? Like when sometimes people are a big fish in a small pond. I feel that you move into like the bigger ocean of things. You take something further. Like you take a leap. maybe you get rid of, maybe something happens to launch you into the bigger world, or to take you out of your comfort zone, to move you from the small pond into the big pond. But I think it completes something. Takes you out of your safe zone. Everything is going to run like clockwork. Yeah, you have the Death card and the Lovers. Okay. You have the Five of Swords. Oh, and you have the Hierophant. I'm going to put these to one side for one moment. Let's look at these cards first. I think for some of you, genuinely, you meet somebody. I think someone really significant comes into your life, like a partner in crime, almost. You know, like that's the saying, isn't it, that we have, that there's a partner in crime. Now, I do feel it means that you, well, it gives you a key. It's kind of like double power, you know, when one person can achieve so much, but two people, when they are focused, the focus becomes bigger. If you have been broken-hearted, it may be truly that somebody comes into your world, someone new comes into your world, and I think that would be heavenly for you, and I would be really, really thrilled. However we look at it, yeah, I'm just maneuvering your cards around, seeing, because we have more here to bring in. Let's bring these to the bottom so we can get more in for you. That's kind of, yeah, something will start to run like clockwork. There may even be divine timing here. But I think someone comes into your world. I think it is a person. And it means that maybe you are already a leader in your field, but you've never quite stepped up. Maybe you have operated in the small pond. You've been a big fish in a small pond. You know what you're doing. You're an expert in your field. But somehow, this is taking you, the big event is something that is taking you away from your competitors. You are streets ahead of your competitors. It's like you win the day. If any of you are, you know, involved in some kind of work in quite a competitive industry, I think you pair up or partner up with someone that takes this to a whole new level. It's like the combination of working with somebody, it takes it to a whole new level. And I feel, yeah, I just feel that you will be streets ahead of your competitors here. And why the Four of Hearts? This could just be indicating for some of you that if you have been broken-hearted, you know, maybe you then meet somebody, but I do feel it is more than that. Maybe it's like being being that small, in the small pond, the big fish in a small pond. It has not been helpful for you to be contained within a limited environment. And I think that someone comes along, and it does look like a partner in crime. That means that you launch into the world. Yeah, and you are. I think this is it. You are streets ahead of your competitors. So you will be showing, you'll be leading, you'll be showing the way to people. And look at the cards that we also have here, the Ace of Wands. I mean, this is a potent energy. And you have the Queen of Wands. Look at her sitting in the director's chair. This is super cool. I'm going to try and get some cards that help us to understand the timing of this. I do think, because of the Quest card, the story of the Quest card is of someone having the bravery to set forth on this new road that nobody else has dared to set forth on. And interestingly enough, then she kind of discovers that the pathway was always there in front of her. So it's kind of like, and this expansion, I wonder whether this is something that you have already. This is why I think you are a big fish in a small pond. I think you have a big idea, or a big project, or a big potential within you. And for some reason, it either hasn't quite got off the ground, or perhaps you haven't had the right connections, or even the right backup. Like if this is to do with love, having the right partnership that would support you at home. And because you're supported at home, you're then able to step up into your absolute fullest potential at work, because you're not coming home and doing absolutely everything. You come home and everything at home is like it's a shared base, and just the backup of somebody there. Having your back means you launch further. But I just do feel that something that is already in your world, that's longing to expand, is going to expand exponentially. And I do think you will be seen as a leader in your field, most definitely. And it is a connection with someone that brings this forth. It's like the piece that was always missing, that has held you back. I mean, perhaps the piece that was missing was a partnership that would back you financially. So if you've been holding on to the pennies and it's stopped things from moving forwards, honestly, this is going to start to move forwards with precision. Like, just literally, it's just going to happen. Let's get some timings around this. May we kindly ask for some guidance and information about, like, how early on. Well, there's your card. How early on is this going to happen in 2026? Judgment. Okay, so we're seeing an announcement being made. Okay. I'm just going to get a little bit more information. I'm seeing you make an announcement. May we kindly ask for timing, please? Guidance. May we ask for guidance around this? Please, may we kindly ask? Queen of Swords. I kind of feel like with the Judgment card and the Queen of Swords, I actually feel this could be almost right in front of you. In fact, actually what I'm going to say is I think this is at the turning point of the new year. She is wearing a veil here. But she's sitting on her throne, and here we have like a graveyard. I think this is the turning point of the new year. So this is literally right from the start. What do we do on a new year? We make announcements, we set intentions, we're very clear about what we aim to do in the following, we set our New Year resolutions. I think this is possibly taking place right at the start of 2026. It would almost be like this happens and you almost make that announcement. So it could even be that this comes along a little bit sooner. This could be moving along a little bit earlier, even in this year, 2025, and then I think it could be announced at the point of the new year. Let's ask whether there is something then that happens a little bit sooner. May we kindly ask if something is going to happen a little bit sooner? Two of Wands. Yes, I think this is going to happen sooner. I think very soon there will be a doorway opening for you. We're seeing a choice. We have door 1 or door 2. And look, she holds the world in her hands, and this is like almost like a game with an audience. Big fish, big pond. Currently big fish in small pond, moving to big fish in big pond, being visible, an audience. I think something becomes, something of what you are doing So this is an idea you already have. This is something you're working on. And I think it takes off really big time. It runs like clockwork and you become ultra focused on it. Because why wouldn't you? You know, you become the director of the movie. This would be like if you are currently writing a film script. And then I think somehow something happens that brings visibility to this or opens a doorway of opportunity. And then I think come the new year, you announce it. Maybe the new year is the time that you can actually kind of like sign the contract, or, you know, it's a done deal, or with the death card and the transformation card. Maybe it would be something you're working on, and then come the new year, it's like you've completed it. This may be something you're working on already, and it's like the big major event, the turning point of next year in this reading, in this message, is happening, I think, right on the button of the new year. Right at the point of new year. So I think something happens sooner than that creates either a pathway to visibility or opens a door of possibility, and then you launch something. It's seen, it's out there, it's announced, basically. And the announcement, I mean, that's almost like you're then on that pathway because you have announced it. It's publicly out there. Yeah, if you'd written a film script, it would be like, you know, you get a deal sometime before then, I think, before now and the end of the year. And then it's announced because it's now in progress. You're now making that movie. You're now directing that movie. You're the director of your own show. You're directing it, and this is now happening. So your focus is completely, you are immersed in this huge and big project. So I do think this happens a little bit sooner, actually. So, you know, whatever you are involved in, I think it is something you are already involved in, and then it reaches this extraordinary turning point with a big announcement at the new year. That's the day of launching. Right now, and in between now and then, there will be some work to do. And something will happen that will give you like a potential breakthrough or an opportunity that means that what is currently an amazing idea, a big idea contained within your existing world, can be taken into the bigger world. And truly, Pile 1, this is going to run like clockwork. It's like with mechanical precision, with astrological precision. And off you go. I do actually think the Four of Hearts really is telling us, I think whatever it is you are working on, I do think it will change lives. I think it will change, I think you will guide others with the leadership card, your project, your book, your film, the film you wrote. You know, when people go see a great film and it changes their lives, or something within that film stays with them, and then they do something differently within the context of their own lives, and suddenly this extraordinary piece of creativity that you have created impacts on millions of people, you know, because it's there. And you didn't even sit down and deliver them a webinar, but just the very fact that it's out there and inherently within it, it brings a different focus to people's lives. It changes their perspectives. It can shift them from a place of difficulty and challenge and sorrow and heartbreak to a place of hope and positivity. Pile 1. I think this is the first turning point. This is a sneaky peek into the very first really big thing that is happening. And I do think it's going to be happening a little bit sooner. It's just that the big announcement, the big launch, the actual making it really happen is going to start, literally, I think, bang on the new year. My beautiful Pile 1, if this is resonating with you, do please give me the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never ever miss a reading. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here. Do keep us posted. I post readings every week, pick a card readings, but I post a reading every Sunday for weekly guidance. And we get an immediate message that you need to know right now with guidance for the coming week. Do, if you're tuning into those readings, do, keep us posted on what's happening in your world. It's so that we can know, and we can help everybody in the community here can know when you make your big announcements. I will be watching this space for you. And beautiful souls, also thank you all of you who have been signing up to my tarot course and who have been tuning into the all zodiac sign readings as well on my other channel. Just thank you all so much for being here. I am overwhelmed truly by your comments, your support of me, of the channel, and of one another. Pile One, thank you so much. Tons of love. Pile Two, welcome to your reading. I'm going to draw from the Fairy Tale Tarot here just to get one more card to join with your first card of the Queen of Innocence. Okay. We have Beauty and the Beast. This is making so much sense already. If any of you are involved in any circumstances where you have been judged, like people's perspective of you has been coloured, I feel like this was coming through right at the start, that you will be proved innocent. That's what kept coming through right as this card was drawn. You will be proved innocent. The turquoise howlite itself as a stone, this crystal is, it's actually a natural kind of whitish colour with very beautiful markings. And turquoise highlight has been coloured. I think if any perceptions of you have been coloured, there's been any judgments, Beauty and the Beast, I just feel that the truth of something is to be seen. Like you'll be proven to be innocent. It's like, or there's something where a weight is lifted off your shoulders. We're asking about the first major big event, the first turning point of 2026 for you. Something will be seen for what it is. People will see through the facade of something. Kind of, Beauty and the Beast. If you have been seen in a beastly light, but judged in any way, there's something here coming through. I'm not going to say any more. This is definitely a strong message, though. Let's find out more. Let's draw your oracle cards and your tarot cards and find out what is this big event. You have courage. And you look at this with the lion showing up here. And even our beast here is wearing, our wonderful beast is wearing a lion's head. Okay. Queen of Innocence. You have Uranus change. This is going to be sudden. I think this is going to be very sudden. Let's put this here and then see what this is. Sudden changes, a radical shift. I'm seeing this one. What is the first major big turning point in my pile twos 2026? We have the card of rejection followed by perfection. This is very interesting. Look at all these shadows. Maybe you get out of your own way and you stop judging yourself. Maybe you stop seeing yourself as being somebody who has to be perfect all of the time. But I do think it is for some of you. I do think some of you have been judged. Maybe if you are somebody who feels like, if you're somebody who feels like you have to be perfect all of the time, then that's come from somewhere. It's like, that will have come from being judged or from being criticized and maybe from being rejected, that you turn that inwards and you think, I'm I'm never good enough, and you just try hard rather than realizing that those judgments are not about you. They're a reflection of somebody else projecting onto you. But if you've taken them on board, and it's meant that you've become ultra critical of yourself, you're trying to get everything so perfectly right all of the time, and then somehow something happens here to change your perspective, to put this into a new perspective. It's like you can return to that place of just genuine curiosity and wonder. You don't have to keep trying to be perfect. You don't have to keep trying, because it's come from somewhere. It's come from being judged or rejected or treated badly. And this is a really big shift. It's like you can step up now and be who you really, really are, and be loved for who you really, really are. Let's draw your tarot cards. What is it that actually happens to create this very sudden change? Uranus is the great awakener. So maybe you just wake up one day and you look in the mirror and you think, wow, I've just been doing this for so long and it's not working for me. But it could be that something else happens that changes this. I mean, maybe there's just a key karmic turning point. Or maybe time runs out on something with the Beauty and the Beast. Maybe you suddenly just decide to have the courage to be you. Or to start again if you've been rejected. But there is something here. Uranus is a very big energy of fast change. Uranus plays a big part in the astrology of 2026. Uranus is playing a big part in the astrology of now, at the time of doing this reading. Uranus creates change, and suddenly expect the unexpected. Uranus brings out of the box thinking, higher minded solutions, teaches us to view things differently, changes perspectives. May we kindly, let's ask for information. What is this big event or the turning point? Is it just a waking up? Does something happen? And if something happens, what is it that happens? May we kindly ask for more information and more guidance for my pile twos. What actually happens for my pile twos? Isn't that interesting? I feel like these just sort of revealed themselves. I'm going to put them to one side. What kind of reveals itself to you? And I'm seeing these two to add to those. Let's look at these first. Okay, so you have the Mob. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now this is an extra card. Here I'm going, ooh, 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 ooh. This is an extra card in this pack. And it's unique to this particular tarot pack. By the way, I do put all of the cards that I'm using in the description box below and also in a comment as well, so you can find them. I think you have been judged. Now, whether that was a long time ago or whether it's recently, you have been judged. There's just no question of it. The Nine of Cups. There's an opportunity for you to be, something happens, a door opens for you and you're seen differently, in a different light. Look at that, the whole colour changes. You are seen in a different light. Six of Pentacles, success. Okay. We have the Seven of Wands. Wow. And the Four of Swords. I am seeing you completely chilled out and relaxed here. I think something comes to you, that is, some success comes to you suddenly. To the point where people could be really envious of you. My pile twos. Yeah, and it changes people's viewpoint of you. Whereas previously people, I think you have been judged, looked at in some particular way, but the colour through, the lens through which people see you, he's wearing glasses, the lens through which people see you changes. Now, I'm not suggesting it only changes because you suddenly become successful. And that's a very shallow, in a way, if people who, to be fair, if people have been judging you, maybe they are very shallow people. And actually their perspective on you suddenly radically changes because of your success. But I think people will be envious of your success. I suspect we're talking about two very different groups of people. I think you have been judged, and they will still be envious of you. Really. People who judge are inevitably envious of your brightness, of your innocence, of your light. But I think what happens is that some kind of success brings you into visibility. And that visibility changes this kind of mob mentality. Maybe what it does is this success actually lifts your own personal self-esteem, your own personal belief. It's kind of like in Beauty and the Beast. You know, she doesn't even like him initially, and he behaves atrociously. And then, you know, she falls in love with him. It doesn't matter what he looks like. She falls in love with the soul that he truly is. You know, she sees him through a different lens, and it's a very real one. Something is transforming here. Maybe you see yourself here. Maybe you get out of your own way. But I do feel you can relax. There's sufficient success for you. Almost it's like you're validated. You know, maybe you needed validation for someone to come along and say, do you know what, you're amazing. And you're like, and they are convincing enough, or it's real enough. Something happens that's real enough for you to know that you are deserving. You know, you can have love. I'm seeing you relax. Yeah, maybe enough success comes to you to be able to relax. Let's find out more. We have the Hanged Man. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Strength card. Interesting. Now we've got the Strength card coming through, and we have Courage, which is just the same energy. We have the Beauty and the Beast with the lion's head. Amazing, because this is also the Strength card in a traditional pack. I think you help out in... I can see what happens here. I think success comes to you. People see you through a different lens. Let me just look at your other cards. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. Oh my goodness me, there is so much freedom of choice coming to you. And so much success. But curiously enough, it comes in a way that I think for some of you, you are able to, it's like you step up into something. I think there is an opportunity that you do step into where you are visibly seen, maybe even the very same people who have been judging you, because you step up and you navigate something, like even in an emergency or a crisis, you know, you just come along and you handle it. Even a situation that could be very stuck, or you move it forwards. If this is a very personal situation for you, because I think it is deeply personal for all of you on some level, just the no longer having to be judged anymore, and it's liberating. But I do think that you are definitely, something occurs that means you are seen in a different light. Now, if this is just in your personal world, it may be that you step up. You know, maybe there's been a crisis in your community, and whereas people were judging you, and you step in and you help out, because why wouldn't you? You're just a lovely, beautiful soul. And because you step up and you help out, and people are like, oh wow, you know, this person is amazing. It's like, and any previous opposition, it's gone. It's diminished. You're going to be proved to be innocent in the face of some sort of judgment. Whether that is judging yourself and the conclusions you came to due to difficult experiences, or other people have been judging you. Somehow, visibly, you are seen to be amazing. For some of you, you achieve success in something to the point where you can relax. This would be like if you had written an amazing book and everybody had been putting you down and saying, oh, well, that idea is silly, or you've had this incredible idea and you're like, this could really change lives, and everyone around you has been like, oh, no, that's just rubbish. I wouldn't bother to invest in that. And suddenly you get a big investor, or your book is published and it goes live and it goes viral. Something is seen. That means that you are no longer judged. You know that you are validated. We have the Three of Pentacles. So whereas I think you were feeling quite put down, quite broken, it's like you rise. We have the Ace of Pentacles. I do feel there is genuine, for some of you, financial success. Because I feel you then have loads of choices available to you. It's like you can, you go out and you can choose what you want. It's like, I feel like you are liberated. For some of you, there's a financial liberation here because you can set forth and you don't have to worry about paying for something. There's financial liberation here because something is so successful. Or someone's backing your idea. You don't have to worry. You have lots of choices. You can kind of go and take your pick if you go out shopping, whereas previously maybe you were limited and stifled by circumstances. You weren't free to choose. Now you're free to choose. And that includes probably the people you hang out with as well. It takes the pressure off. The pressure is removed from you. Let's ask about timing. This is very life-changing because of the level of affirmation. That is what is so life-changing. So whether you step up and you're seen within your community, your family, as somebody who's just amazing. Right, think of this penny farthing. It was like the invention. It was an amazing invention. Like, I think it may have been one of the very first bicycles. So there's something about you, your innovation, your capacity to step up, that has previously just been judged. Or you yourself have even doubted. But I think you've held firm, actually, with courage. I think you have truly held firm. And this is the big event, the big turning point that you... This changes because there's genuine validation. If it's a circumstance, a project or something, I think there's financial reward here. If there is, you get backing from somebody, or as I said, if it's in your community, you are revered for what you have done. It's amazing. And it changes the landscape of your world. It's because for the first time in, I think, like almost probably forever, you can relax and not be fear. You can now pick and choose. You don't have to be constantly fearful of rejection. You've kind of got the deal you need. You can relax. Let me kindly ask for timings around this. May we kindly ask for timings about this turning point, this event. We have the Seven of Pentacles. And we have this little plant here, growing here. The seed has germinated. And look at the cogs and wheels turning here. Maybe kindly get more guidance about the timing of this in 2026. The Queen of Swords. This is so fascinating because this did come out in pile 1. So if you were drawn to pile 1, there may well be a message for you. I think this is something that you are already growing, but some of you maybe have already grown it. Here's the idea, which is why maybe you have already been targeted or put down or judged. Look at the cogs and wheels turning. Maybe you have it there, but you don't quite know how to bring it forth. Let's get more guidance around timing. Maybe kindly, it could be indicating this is something that you need to grow a little bit here, or hold your focus on. We have the Death card as well. It is very interesting in pile 1. The Death card also came out in pile 1. In pile 1, I really felt like the Queen of Swords was a definitive, almost like the point of the new year. And the Death card is all about endings and new beginnings. I do actually feel this could literally happen at the turning point, right at the start of the new year. If it is something that you are already growing, but it just hasn't taken off, maybe it's under wraps at the moment, it's not something you would yet talk about. I do actually think this is, it was interesting with timing in pile 1, but I think for you this is at the turning point of the new year. May we kindly have confirmation of that. Am I right? Is that the turning point of the new year? The Hermit. And yeah, look at the Hermit. And then we have this light bulb and the crowds. Again, there's crowds of people coming through here. So this is something you have been working in isolation with to some extent. It may even be that when you tried to talk to people, you went into isolation because, or people, turned their back on you, or you were judged. Let me just move your cards around. I'm going to put the Death card over here. And we have the Hermit here. And we have a light here as well. May we kindly ask for more information or confirmation about the timing of this? I'm seeing this one. King of Wands. Da-da, look at you up in the crowds here. We have the Nine of Swords. What else are we shown for the timing and the progression of this? And then we have the World. I am wondering with the Nine of Swords here and then the World. There is a point here. We've got Death and we have the World. There is an absolute definitive turning point here. So I do think this is heralded by the new year. Why the Nine of Swords, my pile 2? I think we must draw more cards here. Why this Nine of Swords? Perhaps it comes unexpectedly here. Uranus change. Yes, of course, that is it. Just at the point when it's almost like there's a point at which you almost think you're going to give up on this. It's like maybe they're right. Maybe I'll never get the recognition I need. Maybe I'll never get the funding. Maybe I'll never be able to do this. It really is interesting. It's almost like you reach this point where it's like this will never be more than just a seedling. Somehow, just when you reach this point, when you think it will never happen, I'm never quite going to get there, it happens. And suddenly you rise from being in this space of isolation or working on your own with something or whatever this is for you, or feeling like you are isolated because of the judgments and criticisms, and suddenly the timing of it comes just when you feel like it's not going to happen, it happens. That is what we're seeing. I do think for some of you it is absolutely at that turning point of the new year. Maybe because it's the new year, you kind of thought, oh, we're starting a new year and it still hasn't happened for me. And then suddenly something happens. Let's ask how how does it arrive? Can we get any further guidance on how this actually arises for you or lands in your world? Maybe kindly ask. Yeah, we've got these three. we have the 5 of Cups, we have the 10 of Cups, and we have the King of Cups. Okay. Funnily enough, with the 10 of Cups, you know, there could, for some of you, I think we have 3 different scenarios here, actually, as to how this might land. I think for some of you, you could be traveling. You could even be on a holiday or a vacation. Literally, you could just be away, and somehow there might even be a diversion. We've got stormy weather. There might even be a diversion, something occurs. But from that, it would be like then there's a chance meeting or something that happens that brings about exactly what you need to launch, not to launch something, but, you know, for your idea, your project, for your success, for you to be seen differently. Something happens. So for some of you, it could involve travel. I think for others, there could even be a connection through either through family or through friends or through your community, where somehow, again, maybe this could also be because something happens and you are seen, of course. You know, maybe you were being judged and the judgment is removed. There is an emergency. And suddenly you step in and you are just, you know, unquestionably you are appreciated and seen and loved for what you have done. So it is indisputable as to your innocence, as it were. And I think with the 5 of Cups, maybe for some of you, if this I think might be a card where, for those of you for whom this is about the fact that you judge yourself, suddenly, instead of seeing yourself as either kind of like broken or like a failure or not being able to achieve, I think something happens in your world to shift this perspective, that you see yourself as in a space of possibility. Something will occur, something will change suddenly, rapidly, that will shift your view of yourself. I think, my pile 2, I think this does happen around the New Year time. I do think that's what we're seeing because we have such indications of endings and beginnings here. It's interesting that at that time, it looks to me as if some of you are really feeling as though something's never going to shift and never going to change. And then it does. It would almost be like as well, where you just put that message out into the universe and then something changes really quickly. Perhaps something is even removed from your life. You know, you can disconnect from something that previously you were tied to, and the universe orchestrates this, or an event happens to make it possible. But this is the big first major event. You return to a place of relaxation. You can relax. The pressure is off. You are no longer judged by others, by yourself. And somehow everything, the rewards you need, what you need to be able to be perceived differently, and indeed I think successfully, is coming into your world, pile 2. Well, this is the sneaky peek into next year and the very first major change, major big event, major turning point of the year for you. And I think it is very, very sort of right at the start of the year. And, you know, for those of you, if any of you are struggling financially, I am seeing a big shift. You can relax. I mean, this is just wonderful. Pile 2, if this is resonating with you, do please give me the thumbs up, and do please subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. And my beautiful souls, I look forward to seeing you for some other readings really, really soon. Do keep us posted. I post readings several times a week, and always on a Sunday I do a reading for immediate guidance, like a message you need to hear now, and we look at the week ahead. So that's a really great place to update us in the community. It is wonderful to hear from you. thank you so much for your love and support of me and of one another as well. And thank you all of you who've been jumping on board my tarot course as well. It is wonderful to be walking alongside you on your tarot journey. Tons of love, Pile 2. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. I'm going to draw from the Fairy Tale Tarot pack. Here we go. We have the Fairy Godmother. Wow. Just to get an additional sort of significator card so we can find out, what is the first really big event, the major turning point of 2026 for you. Now you have Queen of Ancestors, and the Fairy Godmother is actually the High Priestess in a traditional pack. Gosh, it feels like there's magic around you. I wonder if something is going to transform, or your ancestors are going to almost step in, whether there'll be divine timing in something. We better draw more cards to find out. What is the first major thing that is going to be happening for you, my beautiful Pile 3s? We have happiness. Oh, wow, okay. Literally someone waving a magic wand, something happening that brings great happiness into your life. Wow, 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 and more wow. Pile 3, let's see what else we're shown. We will try and get as much information as possible. I think both of these are coming out for you. We have second house, so resources. Okay, we also have the card of Pluto rebirth. Okay, you get the bullseye. I do think something comes to you. Interestingly enough, I think it's guided. Maybe your ancestors literally are guiding the way, laying the pathway for you. What do we have here as well? May we kindly ask, please, I'm seeing these two. Insecurity and guilt. Okay. Happiness. Gosh, whatever it is, you are free from the major turning point. The first big event is going to free you from something. I'm really struck by the energy of the story of Cinderella, who was caught up in a life that was not in any way fulfilling for her. She was obligated to her stepmother and her stepsisters, who kept her in a particular place. The card of guilt really indicates a need to break free from something where you're tangled in something, or you're around somebody who makes you feel guilty, basically, if you're not putting them first. Insecurity. Like that little devil on your shoulder, an angel on one shoulder, a devil on the other. I wonder if there are even things like ancestral patterns that you've inherited that make you feel like you have to fit into, I don't know, like you're obligated to fill a certain role or to wear a certain hat, when really you want freedom and liberation. Maybe you have been in some kind of ancestral pattern or family pattern where it feels like it's not okay to succeed or to do really well financially. This is shifting. Something that there is a very specific thing that connects, I think, to almost like a family lineage or a family pattern, and this could be within your existing sort of family and your existing generation, or it could actually be connected to previous generations. Like, for example, I met somebody, amazing woman, in her 80s, just starting a degree at university, and when she was young, women didn't go to university. And so she's doing it now. It's like, well, wow, go for it. How incredible. I mean, there's something about you doing something, overturning something, achieving something, having something that maybe you thought you couldn't have, or I think you know that you're entitled to it. This is the interesting thing with Cinderella. You know you are entitled to it, and yet for some reason something has blocked you. And I think you get the bullseye. Something is unblocked. It may even be that something is revealed, but something is unblocked here that enables you to acquire it, I think. I think we should draw your tarot cards, my beautiful pile of threes. But it does sort of feel like there's an energy of miracles around you. You know, someone waving a magic wand, hitting the bullseye, knowing that you need to stand up for yourself and just doing it, or insecurity. This is actually a card that indicates success, like a miracle arriving, despite your own kind of inner fears. So what is the miracle that's arriving? I do feel, I'm just going to say, let's say that there is something that is guided, supported, that overturns some expectation within you or some anticipation within you. So that's the sort of the growth at a level of soul. This is the first major big event and turning point of 2026, is that some inherent belief or some inherent repeated something or another, a pattern or whatever, ingrained family expectation, whatever it is, it gets turned around, and it is like a miracle for you. The question is, what happens to create that? And when does it happen, actually? How early in 2026 does that happen? What actually takes place to create this miracle? What takes place? What is the miracle? What is the miracle that actually happens for my pile threes? May we kindly ask, what is the miracle that happens? We have the Justice card. Justice will be served, I hear. Okay, just as a total one-off message, if any of you are in any kind of legal proceedings and they're lengthy, then it will work out in your favour. However, this is not the primary message here at all. We have justice will be served. Four of Cups. If you have been struggling to keep your head above water, you are getting the success you need. There's something that you have really wanted. It really is something you've really wanted. And the justice, I think this is like karmic justice. Page of Swords. Something that you've even not been able to quite acknowledge with the Page of Swords. Like a desire, but you either haven't quite been able to manifest it. It's almost like you're really close to it. It's sort of been lurking in the shadows, but you somehow haven't quite yet owned it, or it hasn't manifested, or it hasn't arrived. Or you haven't even really been able to own it fully and say, this is what I want. And it comes to you. Look at the success. The Four of Wands. We also have the Nine of Pentacles, which is a card of absolute joyousness, luxury, wonderfulness. Abundance is the word. Happiness and abundance. We have the High Priestess, where we see somebody on stage, success. If happiness for you would be fame and the fortune that comes with it, then I'm going to say you're going to get the fame and fortune that you deserve. If happiness is marriage and a really beautiful, committed, lovely relationship, that's what's going to come to you, like our Cinderella. If happiness is a health issue, if you are struggling with some form of health issue, you're going to come through it and out the other side. You know, it's not going to be, you're going to recover. The wheel is turning. This is what your reading is saying. The wheel is turning. My beautiful pile threes, this feels like a miracle. This literally is a reading that says the one thing that is going to bring you the greatest happiness. It could be your health and well-being. It could be fame and fortune. It could be a comfortable life. It could be the man or woman or partner, non-gender specific, of your dreams. But this is like karmic justice being served, where this is something where you feel like you have been trying to achieve it, I think, for probably a long, long time. And somehow I do feel there is some connection to some sense of family history that has basically energetically been getting in the way. So maybe you have been involved in patterns where you have always conceded, or you've given more than you've received, or you didn't believe that you could really have success, or a bit like the lady I spoke of who went to university. It just wasn't something that women did in her family. There is something here that comes to you, whatever it is for you. That is, as I said, what we are seeing here is a fruitful life. It's the relationship, it's fame and fortune, it's, for some of you it's stability, for some of you it's peace of mind. But whatever this is, it's almost like karmically a miracle is going to occur that turns the wheel of fortune, and that one thing that would be the bullseye for you is coming to you. So this is the major, major big event and the turning point, the very first exciting major big event and turning point for you. I think your ancestors are backing you. It's like they're working behind the scenes for you. Now, when is the question? Let's find out about when. May we kindly ask for an indication of timing? May we kindly ask for an indication of timing? 7 of Cups. Okay. And we have 2 apples here. I'm wondering if this comes in the first 2 weeks of the year for some of you, or whether it comes at a time of harvest. Let's get more information. May we kindly ask when this comes in 2026. This is the first major big event. We have the King of Cups. We have the King of Wands. So we've got 2 kings. Now this is a card of choice. Okay, this is very interesting. This is very, very interesting, my pile 3. This is a card of choice where you decide what matters to you. The King of Cups, you set sail. The King of Wands, this is an energy of being absolutely at the top of your game. I actually almost want to say this comes to you when you make a really clear-cut decision that you want it, which is very ambiguous. I'm sorry, I will get more information. May we kindly ask for pile 3, when does this happen? Or could we have more guidance around this? We've got the 2 of Wands, and we have the 2 apples here. But again, this is about choosing, making a clear-cut decision. I think you have to choose to go after it, actually, because you hit the bullseye. It's like you make a decision, you choose to go after it, because this is a choice. And when you choose it, it is as if the universe then waves a magic wand and it happens. It comes into being. Events, synchronicities just rock up to make this, to create this point of rebirth. May we kindly ask again about timing here. Queen of Pentacles. Wow. I mean, this is the Queen of self-care. So again, it's prioritizing yourself. I think when you make it a priority, it comes. Yeah, 4 of Pentacles. It's like not holding on to some limiting belief. Okay, do my pile 3s then? Let's follow this through for you. Do my pile 3s have to initiate something in order to make this happen? beyond making a clear-cut decision about what is a priority for them. Do my pile threes have to make a clear-cut decision or take an action? Gosh, death. So yes, this is a card of transition. I feel like this is like making a New Year resolution, actually. It's very interesting how the New Year has been coming into these readings. I think this is about you making, it's like setting a New Year resolution, making a decision. You know, when we make a choice, it's like you make a decision about one thing in your life. Like you decide, let's say health-wise, you've been struggling with your health, but there is still something you do that isn't like a healthy option. And even though there's a multitude of things that need to come into place for your health to completely recover, it's like you make one decision to do one thing that will help towards that. You take one step towards it, and then one step leads to another step. A doorway opens for you, and I think it rockets really quickly. I think you take one step towards it. It's almost, you could even just put your wish into the universe, but you say it loud and clear. Instead of hiding what you desire, you say it, you state it out loud. This is what I want. Can I please have this? You take one step, and from then everything starts to happen, which is why I'm seeing the energy of a New Year's resolution. It's like you make a decision, and it's almost like the moment you make that decision and that choice, everything clicks into place. I don't think it's up to chance. I think it's more to do with synchronicities. Yeah, look at that, the Ace of Cups. You commit. You say, this is what I want. You make a commitment to one thing and one thing only, one step. And when you make that one step, it may not even arrive in the way that you were expecting, because this is about miracles and magic. But it will happen. It would be like, yeah, you make a decision to, if you're feeling, I don't know, like if love is what you want, marriage is what you want, then you might make a decision to reach out to perhaps a group of people where you might, or even a dating site or something like that, because you make that one step. You make, then the next day you bump into somebody in a supermarket while you're doing your shopping, and it's the perfect match. It didn't come through the dating site, but you made the one step because you kind of made an announcement, as it were, that this is what you wanted. You let go of your fears that it will never happen, and you just said, you know what, I'm going to take the plunge. I'm going to prioritize myself. It's like if you are an overgiver or you're giving to other people and they're continually draining your energy, you draw the line, and suddenly everything you need starts to come to you because you've taken that one step. You say a no to somebody, and then suddenly all sorts of people show up offering to assist you and help you in something, and it's because you have taken the one step. This is what we're seeing. It is like making a New Year resolution. And the moment you make that choice and that decision, doorways open for you. It's like you set the pace, and the moment you do this, everything synchronistically will then start to happen. And this is the major turning point. So I do feel the timing is to do with the new year. It's to do with that time and space when we really evaluate and we make really clear-cut choices about what we are wishing for. And from that moment, it is as if the wheels of the universe are in motion. And everything sets forth. And, the wheel of fortune, the roulette wheel is now spinning in your favour. I feel like you can't lose. You hit the jackpot. So whatever happiness is for you, that's the major turning point. And I think the moment you set that intention, and it's like a New Year's intention, and you make the first step towards it in one small way, everything else just falls into place and the magic begins. Pile 3, I love this reading. It's kind of like karmically, you've got to where you deserve this. Karmically, everything is going to come because this is the point in time when it is completely right for this to happen for you. My beautiful pile threes, whatever happiness is for you, I am wishing you every blessing, and I am thrilled for you, truly thrilled. My beautiful souls, I post readings every several readings a week, and on Sundays I always post a reading where we get an immediate message and we ask about the week ahead. Do keep me posted in the comments. That is a great reading to really keep me posted and also connect with other people here in our community, in our Moon Magic family. Because it is amazing the love and the support that takes place here, and I'm so humbled by the love and support of me, also of the love and support you offer one another as well. So beautiful souls, thank you for being here. If this is resonating with you, do give me the thumbs up, and please subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never ever miss a reading as soon as I post them. Pile 3, this is amazing. Thank you all of you as well for those of you who've been signing up and jumping on board my tarot course. It's amazing to be walking with you, alongside you on your tarot journey. And thank you all just for being you and being here. Tons of love.